Feds are cracking down on you. You can't be chasing future Hendrix around the airport, buddy.
Whoa, that's crazy. You know what? I read that. One of his I know which one of his homies did it.
You're getting your just desserts.
No, this real shit.
You were there.
You did it.
You did it.
No, but the crazy part about it is one of his homies told the feds that.
One of Future's homies.
One of Future's homies told the feds that? You told the feds that. Whack. Come on, bro. One of his homies told the feds that? You told the feds that. This nigga's sick, boy. This man is sick.
Got nothing to do with Future. One of Big U homies. I'm going to tell you how I know.
Okay.
I know who was running with Big U back then. So I know who he's talking to and conversing with.
Okay.
And I think maybe Big U might have kind of somewhere 16. You can find it on Google where them niggas had beat the shit out of Future and his security. Future ran out to LA Club. Google Future gets rushed in LA Club. They was on him. That's why they was on him.
Talking about Trick from Detroit.
Nah, Trick from Detroit. So, that's broke, right? So all I know is, we always knew who owed somebody some money. So when we leave and we going to Atlanta, that story I tell Rich about when Big U saying, Wack, catch this flight with me, I want to show you something. And he took me out there and took me to the Four Seasons. He said, I'm going to turn this out to the 60s. They got a blood neighborhood around the corner. You could turn that out. And I said, nigga, you tripping. I went back to the airport and left. It was that trip. That was the trip. We on that red-eye Delta flight. Same one I used to always catch lunch junked off on. Right. So the nigga, when we come through, Big U he say, little bro, is that the nigga? I look. I said, that's up for shoulder, bitch. I said, hey, Future, come here. Let me holler at you. You know when you first come through, when you grabbing your shit off the conveyor belt on the other side of security? Nigga, that nigga started trotting through that motherfucker. Lead a bitch. I'm trotting right behind him. We on the Delta side, right? It ain't number one flight leaving that.
Nigga, you said it. This is almost 4 years ago. You said it. Big U's homies didn't say nothing. You said it, my boy. You said it. This guy is crazy.
Night going to Atlanta, right? All the other red eyes on American time.
So we got that. That's enough about that. We don't have to play this whole thing through its entirety. But now that we just have a basic understanding that Wack is the one who actually said it, not one of Big U's homies, or Big U's homies did say it, Wack, you said it first.
Right. You know what I mean? So it was something that people wouldn't notice. But
some future Hendrix around the airport, buddy.
Yo, that's crazy. You know what? I read that. One of his I know which one of his homies did it.
You're getting your just desserts.
No, this real shit.
You were there. You did it. You did it.
No, but the crazy part about it is one of his homies told the feds that.
One of Future's homies.
That ain't got nothing to do with Future. One of Big U homies. I'm going to tell you how I know.
Okay.
I know who was running with Big U back then. So I know who he's talking to and conversing with.
Okay.
And I think maybe Big U might have kind of, if he did tell dude a little white lie, I'm going to tell you why. He was never touched.
See,
he was never touched.
Because he ran down the tarmac, right?
He was trotting.
You started off.
He was never touched. That's the crazy part. So
you started off the video by saying how Future got whooped out. You started off the video by saying that. That's what you said, that Future got whooped out. That's what you said. You said it. Just tell me what you said.
I'm reading it, and it says Big U and his homies. And then it said he was assaulted. Now, a couple days before that, I think you pulled it up before him and his security got took off onto the club, right? That was in Hollywood. But when I'm reading it, all the shit, like he got one thing in there where they're saying the other dude had a gun, or they went to a weed shop. These is all his codees. Everybody that's out on bail, right? Because he was never touched. And it's not a charge, it's an overt act. They ain't charging for no assault on Future. A lot of these motherfuckers is dumb. It's over.
Well, here's the interesting thing about overt acts. There was an overt act that was You know what? Let me find this real quick.
Right, but
but they're adding it to the case against Big U, right?
No, it's really like goes towards character.
Okay.
It's not a charge. Like, he doesn't have a assault charge on Future.
Oh, okay.
This is why when everybody's saying Future told in this, Future's not Future or Sierra, she was there. Will say dude was assaulted.
Okay.
There's no way they can say that.
And what was your involvement in this then?
I'm the one. I talked to Future.
But you're mentioned in the paperwork?
I'm not mentioned.
What did you say to? But then why is everybody putting your name in it?
Because I told this story years ago.
Oh yeah.
I told the story years ago.
Okay.
Right. So they're saying, "Oh, this."
So this is how this situation actually works, because they're going to mention overt acts. And I think that it's important that we understand how overt acts have already played a part in this indictment. Big U charged with assault on WACK 100. Let me see. Bless you, Pop.
Weird, bro. You niggas.
So right here, we're going to see a quick little breakdown from a video that I got from Byron Blake 3 months ago. And at this point in time, Big U was only charged with only had the overt act of assault on WACK 100. This is because Big U, his lawyer referred to, if you guys want to see this paper, I could pull, you know what, matter of fact, let me just go ahead and do my entire due diligence, because y'all don't ever believe nothing. Y'all don't ever believe nothing. So let me just do my entire due diligence as I'm supposed to. Make this a little bit bigger. Give me 1 second, because I don't want to put y'all too deep into my personal business. But let me see. Boom. Shakalaka, shakalaka, shakalaka. Where is my conversations with Byron Blake? Byron Blake. Let me see. BYRON. Let me see. Byron Blake. Boom. Here it is. All right. Boom. Here it is. All right. So let me show y'all this real quick. So let's start with the beginning. Big U's lawyer referred to WACK 100 as an informant. Big U was charged with the overt act of assault because Big U was caught on a wiretap saying he wanted to, quote, WACK 100 in his jaw. One piece that way. He wants to bow. You know what I'm saying? Break it. So Big U says on a wiretap he wants to assault WACK 100. That's charged as an overt act in the federal indictment. Well, Big U's lawyer says my client can't be charged with an overt act because he didn't necessarily do anything. So since he didn't do anything, why is he being charged with this whole situation and all that kind of stuff, blah, 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 blah. Well, the district attorney or the federal indictment, whoever it is, handles the federal cases, goes, well, we're now taking your overt act and making it into an actual assault charge against WACK 100. Here's the actual statement from Big U's lawyer when he referred to WACK 100 as the informant.
This is where he finds himself between a rock and a hard place, because it's not because, I understand. I don't have anything for you to expose, sir. I'm not a snitch. I'm not a rat. I never participated in any of that type of activity, so that's usually the go-to for guys like 1090 Jake or WACK 100. When somebody challenges.
So you can see right here, it says, on January 12, 2003, an interceptor phone call, defensive Henley said he wanted to beat the SHIT out of WACK 100. That's what's on. This is overt act number 164. Overt act number 164, exhibit C-58 through C-59. On January 12, 2023, on an intercepted call, defendant Henley said he wanted to beat the SHIT out of WACK 100. The defense response, which is Big U's lawyer, the government has not identified what action, if any, followed because none did. Expressing disapproval of an informant in a private conversation is not obstruction of justice, witness tampering, or a RICO predicted act. The government must prove specific criminal act, not basically cultural attitude. So this is what the government response was to that. The government goes, oh, you're funny? Oh, you're funny? You think you got something? Okay, you're right. Nothing followed. But this is what the government's response is. Let's get into this.
Control category encompasses charged overt acts that are direct evidence. They would go on to say the defendant's motion challenges dozens of overt acts alleged in the first superseding indictment.
So Big U's lawyer is challenging the overt acts because, again, he's saying nothing happened to WACK. Big U never put his hands on WACK. So WACK is telling the truth when he says it's in the paperwork that he was never touched. That is true, but this is the context behind it.
Styled as Rule 404B concerns. That framing is backwards. The government is entitled to prove the overt acts charged in its own indictment. These are not uncharged other acts. They are part of the charged RICO conspiracy, and proof of charged overt acts requires no 404B justification. Now, the reason I was emphasizing.
Appreciate RS7RV for the $4, for the $4.99. Appreciate you to $5 holler. The Fed's cases on WACK is so airtight. I think that they just letting him talk to have more evidence so he can't wiggle out of it. Keefy D type ish, loose cannon type ish. And you know, we don't wish jail time or anything on anyone, and I'm not a prosecutor, and this is not with any intention or any malice or anything like that. I don't wish anything negative on WACK100. It's just there are a lot of things you say that you didn't say. It's a lot of things that you say you didn't say that you did say. So we're just here to remind you of the things you said, because I think that in his old age, maybe WACK's memory is not as great as what it used to be. So I'm just really here to do a community service to help him remember some of the things that he said in conversations past, as these conversations have now come into the future.
Charged in the last stuff that I was reading from Big U is because I was seeing that they were locked in on that. He kept saying, y'all saying I threatened WACK100. I'm not charged with that. Y'all saying that I said I wanted to beat up WACK100. I'm not charged with that. The government is now coming back and saying that, yes, you are. The fear and control.
Big U is being charged with wanting to whoop WACK100. Tendernism. Pick the blind up, put the blind down, pick the blind up, put the blind down, pick the blind up, put the blind down. Big U is Reg Dog. Big U has officially been charged with man, WACK is a victim in the case. I said it. I told y'all WACK was a victim in the case.
So with that all being said, let's take it back to the Adam and WACK show, where WACK is trying to break down how it's only an overt act with the situation with Future, which technically right now is 100% true. Right now, it is only an overt act. But the situation that we just listened to started off as an overt act as well, and we see how quickly it escalated into something a lot more serious. So it could be something, it could be nothing, but it's flippy floppy. It's flippy floppy.
This is what WACK said. So in their head, if you go listen, WACK always said, Big U didn't do shit.
Right.
He stayed behind.
Uh-huh.
So for them to have some shit in there, unless a whole nother situation happened.
Right.
That I don't know about. But Future was not touched, assaulted, nothing.
Okay.
It was a conversation.
A little jog.
Little trot.
Chase after him a little bit.
It was a little trot.
Okay.
You know, you ain't finna be running through LAX.
Yeah.
That's just, you're not gonna do that.
Awkward.
It was a little trot. You know what I mean? So it was something that people wouldn't notice. But when I seen he was assaulted, I said one of his homeboys, all that shit, bro. One of his homeboys and took that, and he's gonna take the stand and testify to that. He can't testify he was there, because that's where it's fucked up at. But I don't think it's gonna be testifying because it's an overt act, because we were already checked in. So whoever that is would have to say they were in the airport.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So that whole thing though is,
so there's a such thing as open air reporting, and we went over that as well too. Let's just give you guys this real quick for some of you guys who just kind of got with us, who not aware of. Let me see something real quick. Trap GPT.
Hey, I'm here.
Are you with me? Okay, you're here. Real quick on the elementary level.
With you.
On the elementary level, can you please explain open air reporting by way of a legal sense when it comes to the context of somebody talking about crimes on YouTube, and those crimes that they discussed on YouTube being used in federal and local indictments?
Yeah, let me check on that. Okay, so think of open air reporting as anything people say out in public spaces, like YouTube, podcasts, or any other public platform. So if someone is talking about crimes in that open way, basically, investigators can watch it, document it, and if it's relevant, use it as evidence. So that's not the same as being proof all by itself, but depending on what was said, it can become part of a larger case.
So if something, for example, like someone admits on a YouTube video that they chased another person through the Los Angeles International Airport with the intention of getting money from them because they owed their friend a debt, and now that same story is being used as a federal indictment, does that count as open source reporting?
One sec. Yeah, that kind of thing is basically public info that investigators can consider. But a federal indictment would usually be based on the total evidence investigators gathered, not just that publicly available video.
So would that evidence plus other evidence make the case stronger, meaning the YouTube video just adds to an already damning situation?
Let me check. Yeah, if it's consistent with and supports other admissible evidence, then it can add weight to the case.
All right, have a good one, bro.
Oh,
Yeah, so there's that.
Like that.
No, WACK never went into a police station and told on Big U or told about this future situation, but through open source reporting, you don't have to. You can just go make a YouTube video about it.
That's the only new
The AI taking breaths because even the AI is tired of this situation.
federal charge that they added.
No.
What else did they add?
Oh, you keep saying federal charges. Federal charges is sex trafficking. I think attempted murder, a plot for murder for hire on the witness,